Welcome to Gikomba Market, the biggest open air and Mutumba market, second-hand clothes market in the world. This is where everything happens. Every cloth that you find, that is from the underwears or innerwears to the shirts, trousers, and anything else that you'll put on your body as something to cover your nakedness. Yes, this is where it all happens. It lands in Mombasa, then Gikomba. Then from Gikomba, they are supplied to the most of East African markets, even in Tanzania. Though Tanzania have their own, though Tanzania have their own ports, but you remember Tanzania is too big, so there are other places that are far away from the port, and those are the places where the Mtumba clothes or the second-hand clothes from Gikomba market that is in Nairobi I sent to. So let's talk about the second-hand cloth business. Even the inner pants, yes, there are people who do buy them. How sure are they that whatever they're buying is something good enough for their health? Because there's some who buy them, use them immediately, and they don't wash them. Does it have some side effects or maybe consequences of using them? Some will say yes, some will say no, because they believe they are well disinfected before they are packed into large quantities to the African market. Yes, the African market consumes a lot of second-hand clothes from different places. These are the things that comes from China, some from the US. Let me say the West and the East, the Asian countries and the West countries and the Asian countries. This is where most of this Mutumba clothes comes from. But does it mean in these countries there are no people who can also use the very second-hand clothes? They are, but now this is where it gets dirty or better. Dirty or better, because most of these clothes are donations from the people who have them, and they're supposed to go to the vulnerable people within given countries. But because it's a business and someone has seen a need of using business as a business, instead of these second-hand clothing, that is, we're talking about shoes, we're talking about clothes, we're talking about anything that can be worn on the body. Instead of this stuff getting to the intended people who I need, they get themselves to the markets. They are resold again to the wholesaler. They make them wholesalers, and then they resell them again to the people who are going to sell them either on wholesale again or to the retailers. So in most of the time, they designated the direction, designated receivers of this stuff doesn't really benefit from it, or rather they'll go back to the market and buy them when the goods were intended to be for their own use and be given to them freely. That is the brains behind, or whatever happens mostly when it comes to the second-hand clothing. It's a very, 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 very booming business, not just in Kenya, Gikomba market, but all around. Talk about all around Africa. And this is where most people are making a lot of millions. Some of this stuff might be 20 shillings. Imagine you buying a panty worth 20 shillings or 30 shillings. Then you go resell it at 50 or 70 shillings. Imagine you buying a shoe at 200 shillings and you resell it at 300 shillings. Because most of people believe, again, that Mutumba clothings or Mutumba wares are they are much better because they are original than those first-hand clothes that you buy directly from the industry or from the factory. And they believe those that are made from the African factories are not of the quality of the Western factories or the Eastern factories. And with that, it kind of be a fallacy, because there are those that are made within the country that are more quality than those that are made from other countries. But because the notion that have been sold onto the people is that the Mutumba clothing Mutumba clothing are much better and of better quality, people would rather go buy the Mutumba clothing, and then what they will do is wash them than use them. Then they have their names. There's camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. That depends on what quality you're buying. Camera 1 is the best quality, camera 2 is the middle quality, then camera 3 is the least quality. Then we have the rejects that most of the time are dumped along the riversides, and that is the effects that is affecting Nairobi River currently, when you see all those clothing that have been dumped there. And we'll do a documentary on the same to just prove what we're talking about, the dumping of second-hand clothes within the Nairobi River. So the question is, would you rather buy a first-hand cloth, or would you go for the second-hand clothes? And what are the benefits of the second-hand clothes? Of course, most people say they are cheaper and durable. But how durable will be a cloth that have been used for some time and a cloth that have never been used? And most people say that most of the Mutumba clothings have not been used that much by the people in the West. Maybe they imagine this guy just bought it today and he felt it's not good on me, so he put it in a dustbin somewhere or a place where they do dirty clothes. And then someone will be passing around them, pick them, and bring them to the African market or the third world countries market. It's not just the African countries that are the most probable place where such a clothing or such a wares will come in, because they are Asian countries where people are so poor and they still buy second-hand clothing. So what are the benefits of buying a second-hand cloth over the benefits of buying a first-hand clothes that is from the local manufacturers or local industries or factories? The main thing, as people usually say, it's what we call durability. But there are people again who say it's not that much durable. And does it have any healthy effects? Maybe when you buy it, probably not that much, but yeah, maybe there might be. So we will dig deeper into this to try to understand if it has some health problems. Because okay, not everything that is packed means that it was from a better place or from a good thing. But the dangers of such a businesses are even the local people feel it, because now there are people who are stealing from the locals, from their own people, make them look like they are the second-hand clothes from other places, and then go resell them back to the very people that they stole it from. There have been those cases. You're passing somewhere and you lost your shoe or your trouser or your jersey or t-shirt some 2 days, and when you pass somewhere you see the very 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 t-shirt, very very shoe, very very short and very very trouser that you lost 2 days later somewhere, and someone is selling it as a Mutumba cloth or a Mutumba wear, and then you'll be asking, wait, how did this get himself over here? Okay, just in the comment section and tell us, would you be that person buying the second hand clothes or the first hand clothes?